Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go with Monica. Hi, Ruth. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Ruth. We're all a little embarrassed, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had those sort of things in common. Oh, well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there are also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things too. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what did you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. I'm sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. Just move your hand. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go with Natsuki. ... question mark?
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions.
So basically, it's not cute enough for your tastes.
Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Ugh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Last but not least, we have Yuri. Le dots. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough for her to finish reading. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Oh, so it's that bad? No! Did I just raise my voice? Oh, I'm sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though.
Biased? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club?
Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Ooh. Actually, the story isn't about the ghost at all, Ruth.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly.
What's with this language?
Eh? Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Ah, thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
Eh? You mean you had to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. And Ruth did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all...
Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Ruth liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
Eh? That's not what I... Ooh. You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Ruth appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy.
Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Ruth started showing up.
Natsuki.
Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you.
This doesn't involve you. I can't do two voices at the same time.
I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Ruth, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Ruth.
Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Ruth? Not gonna lie, Yuri's voice is making me kind of lightheaded, like a little bit, because I make her voice slightly like breathy and like deep and breathy, so it's kind of making me a little lightheaded. But anyway, well. When it says both Natsuki and Yuri, it's so amusing. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be, "Help me, Sayori!" Natsuki. Oh, sorry, Natsuki. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Eh? Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this?
Ruth? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her.
I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict.
Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being.
She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place.
Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop!
Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends.
I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems. They're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because... Well... Also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful.
Sayori. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president, I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. Foreshadowing! I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. Foreshadowing! That makes the two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Foreshadow! Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems?
It was a lot of fun.
Well, I'd say it was worth it.
It was alright. Well, mostly.
Ruth, what about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better.
I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination.
Ruth, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
Eh? What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really the first time we've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, Ruth, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too.
That's...
Every day is going to be so much fun.
It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay!
Yeah, let's do this. Another day passes, and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me.
Hi, Ruth!
Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today.
I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all.
I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway.
Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack?
No thanks.
That's not like you at all.
I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori?
Why that all of a sudden?
No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then, she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori.
That's not fair. How did you even know?
It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one question. One option.
Wah! I give up. Don't make me feel guilty.
If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. MC's a douche, man. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book.
Yuri! Tell Ruth to let me borrow some money.
Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed into my book.
I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you.
There's no way you could think that.
You were right, though. I did something bad and now I had to accept the revolution.
Retribution.
That.
Still coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. She really does, doesn't she? Like, even though you see her as this, like, innocent, airhead, has no idea what she's doing kind of character, deep down, she really
has this characteristic of, like, she knows what's going on and she knows what she has to do. And that's what makes Sayori a special character. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me.
But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them.
Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori.
What? Yeah!
Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk.
Ow! What was... A cookie?
Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around.
Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution!
Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked.
I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy.
Sayori hugs the cookie. Okay, side note. What if there was a route, or whatever, however it's pronounced, wherein we actually could save Sayori, and it's just bringing her, like, this giant box of cookies, and that would just save her from this entire, like, the end of chapter, or rather, Act 1 wouldn't happen because we gave Sayori a giant box of cookies. Chocolate chip cookies, to be specific. I don't know. I don't know why I said that, but you know. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite.
So good!
Sayori suddenly clasps her hands over her mouth.
I bit my tongue. You're going through a lot over just one cookie.
Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie.
Ah, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me.
Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki, then wraps her arms around her.
Ah, jeez. I get it.
Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite of Natsuki's cookie.
Hey! Did you seriously just do that?
Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well.
Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori...
Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room.
Where's Monica anyway?
Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today?
Not me.
Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual.
I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. You don't think she has a...
I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. I think the other, like, DDLC character simps would beg to differ. But, you know...
That's true. Excuse me?
Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything.
Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed.
Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about?
Monica quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Oh, well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time.
That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least.
I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano.
Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica.
I don't really. I kind of just started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano.
That's so cool! You should play something for us, Monica.
That's... Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will.
Yay!
That sounds cool. I also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Ruth. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently, and I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So, I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book and Natsuki disappeared into the closet.
Ruth!
Sayori suddenly comes up to me.
I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Want to come with me?
Supplies? What for?
Well, you know, the festival is coming up. Well, you know the festival is coming up. Me and Monica were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go find some crayons, markers, and glue sticks.
Ah, I see. Sure, I'll go with you.
Yay! Okay, Monica, we'll be back soon.
Ah, are you going with Ruth to get the supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. Ooh, the first sign. Actually, not really, but ooh, the signs are getting more and more obvious.
Aw, but I wanted to go.
I mean, there's always the option of all three of them going so that it would be easier to bring back the supplies here, but there wouldn't be a conflict, right?
It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms and stuff.
Ooh, empty classrooms. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. It was just a suggestion. See if you can find poster paper too, okay?
Okay. Ready, Ruth?
Yep. Let's go.